Ladies and gentlemen, this is a still shot from a video that Asmongold did reacting to somebody who was obviously criticizing Asmongold's chat and really the chat of the Game Awards because there was very vocal criticism over the oversaturation of wokeness in this show. And it's absolutely true. It was nauseating how much these people pump that woke garbage into their broadcast. There is nothing that's even remotely appropriate about all of the stuff that they push, but they do it anyway. And let me just say that there are an endless number of channels, it seems, on YouTube and on Twitch that if you want to, they will give you the woke approved, advertiser friendly, socially acceptable PC commentary on all of these games. If you want stuff like that, you could go to Spawnwave, you could go to Young Yeah, you could go to all of these people. Hell, you could go to Angry Joe. He's as woke as anyone I've seen in the gaming community. You could go to all of these people and you could get your fill of woke propagandistic bullshit. But when you come to my channel, or apparently Asmongold's channel, because he allows his audience to speak their mind without just banning them outright for having an opinion, if you come to my channel, you're allowed to speak your mind, and I'm not going to ban you for it. I'm not going to punish you for it. And the reality is that when I see a project from a Western studio that has a female lead or a black female lead, my interest in that plummets instantaneously about 70%. It is almost completely devastated. Now, is it because I have anything against black people or women? No. Because in Chinese and Japanese culture, in their movies, I think it's perfectly fine. We saw Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. When I was growing up, that was a very popular movie. I liked it a lot. I like kung fu movies. I think it's cool when the female characters are kick-ass because they're also feminine. Like their grandfather taught them, like Chun-Li. Who the hell is going to be like, yeah, we hate Chun-Li? No one hates Chun-Li. Everyone loves Chun-Li. My point is, it's an Asian woman and she kicks ass and she's strong. Well, we should all hate her. Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat. I could go on and on. The whole point here is that what you're witnessing from these people is a cope. They are coping with the fact that the thing that they believe in is so immediately disliked that they have to try to gaslight you and make you seem like the bad guy because you're pointing out things that are absolutely trash. So, I like Spirited Away. I like Princess Mononoke. Yeah, two of my favorite movies. Enjoy those for years. There's nothing wrong with female lead characters. There's nothing wrong with people like Samuel L. Jackson playing the lead character in a movie. There's nothing wrong with any of that. It's not about their race. It's not about their gender. It's about the culture. And the culture in the West, from the left-wing Marxist perspective, the Hassan fans, essentially, those people are awful. Their ideas are awful. Their life is awful. They're an embarrassment to our culture, our country, and our species. And they continue to try to double down on this woke crap that most people reject. They shove the shit down our throats, we throw it back up, and then they try to shove it back down again. That is why the frustration is at an all-time high and why people are so apprehensive. Plus, we get games like Forspoken. Forspoken was created by a bunch of these woke narcissists that believed they had a message to tell. The game was shit. Embarrassingly shit. It was a disgrace. But it was created with all the best intentions. I don't give a shit about the intentions of these people. They're terrible. So, myself and other people have every right to criticize that because the game was created because the main character was not white, because the main character was not male, and because they have an archetype for women that they think you have to fit into. In other cultures, women can literally be anything. I've seen anime where women are huge, muscular behemoths. No one has a problem. I've seen anime where, fucking girls are lollies. They're smaller. Fucking, what? Cat girls. Like, there's no consistency. If you hate women, you hate all women. If you hate black people, you hate all black people. You don't want anything to do with them. But more often than not, all of this so-called racism and sexism is circumstantial. It's based on the culture and the actions of the people working behind the scenes to make this garbage. And that's the key. Understand, there's nothing wrong with you watching the Game Awards and seeing the sickening amount of wokeness they crammed into it. And saying, wow, this is terrible. Wow, this is bad. You are in the majority. You are right. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to see wokeness in video games, in comic books. What they want, and don't get me wrong, they don't want conservatism. I'm more libertarian. I don't want libertarian comic books or libertarian video games. Unless they bring back Senator Armstrong. I'm not looking for my political beliefs to be validated in my entertainment. I'm not that weak. You would have to be an extremely weak-minded person to have your beliefs validated in all of the entertainment that you watch. That is such a weak-minded perspective. And unfortunately, it's what happens more often than not. And these people who are woke have ruined nearly every form of entertainment that I grew up watching. I've had to watch franchise after franchise go down like soldiers, from Ninja Turtles to Ghostbusters. Even He-Man wasn't safe. They've taken shots at everyone. Everyone's gone down. And unfortunately, one after another, they've taken Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, Star Wars. Hell, they take any opportunity they can get to tear something down. The new Fallout. I'm going to do a reaction to that trailer. Of course, it's a female main character. So, again, as I said before, the moment I saw it was a female main character, my heckles went up and my interest plummeted. Now, you could say, well, that's not fair. Experience has taught me that when they put a female main character into a prominent role in current year from a Western studio, it's going to be garbage. You remember the Halo series? Do you remember that? Where they took Master Chief and they said, okay, we have to deconstruct Master Chief. We're going to have him take off his helmet in the first episode. He's going to be a completely different Master Chief. He's going to have sex with this, traumatized, half head shaved Asian rebel lady. There aren't words. It was so shockingly bad that I started to believe that really when Donald Trump wins in 2024, he should make a law that should be a crime. I mean, that should be a goddamn crime. What they did to poor Master Chief, that man did so many tours of duty, he saved the galaxy. But goddamn, they did him dirty. Oh man, that show was bad. But that's what people in this echo chamber do, who believe this crazy, extremist, demented, low IQ, low value, degenerate ideology and narrative worldview. And so you have every right to criticize it, to call it out, to make fun of it, to make fun of the people who believe it. You have every right to do that because you are in the right. And history will remember you far more kindly than these people. These people are sick. And they exist in a world that is not what I want to live in. I don't want to live in a world where your surface level immutable characteristics are what define you. And I even disagreed with Asmongold in this particular video because he says that you can more easily find common ground with people who look like you. So basically, if you're white, you're going to watch people who are white. Let me just tell you. Let me just tell you. There may be an element of truth to that. Maybe, we can see that there is some truth to that, obviously. But I hate a lot of white people. I hate a lot of black people. I hate a lot of Asian people based on the content of their character. I look for people that agree with some of the things that I believe and people who disagree. All different types of perspectives. All different types of worldviews because it's far more interesting. I believe in diversity of thought rather than a hegemonic worldview where everyone has to be a libertarian. Everyone has to be conservative. No, it'd be boring. Different worldviews, but you defeat the more radical extreme elements of any ideology. But right now, the left is the most dangerous, the most prevalent, the most ingrained in everything. It's definitely on Twitch, TikTok. It is integrated into almost all facets of American life and culture. And I think it needs to be eradicated. The idea, the narrative, the concept, it needs to be defeated. And the way that you do that is by calling it out and telling people you have every right to criticize this if you want. And most people do because instinctually wokeness is easy to hate because it is repugnant. It is racist. It is sexist. It views the world based on immutable characteristics rather than the quality of somebody's character. I believe in the dream of Martin Luther King, not the dream of these people that want to break the world down into tribes and races and all that stuff. So if you want to know why people criticize wokeness, if you want to know why they hate it, it's because it's an inhuman ideology. Elon Musk said, really the world is very soon going to be broken down into two groups. People who are humanists and people who are extinctionists. People who hate humanity and think that we're evil and that we're scourge. And people who don't. I'm a humanist. I consider myself on the human side. Whatever race you are, whatever ideology you are, if you have common traits with me, if you have common beliefs with me, you're my brother or you're my sister. That's as simple as it is. It's not about race. It's about culture. And protecting the culture against these people that are truly sick and evil and depraved. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that, ladies and gentlemen. I always appreciate you watching. I always appreciate the feedback. And yeah, shout out to Asmongold. Go subscribe to his channel. Not that he needs any big ups from me, because my channel is absolutely tiny, but I do like Asmongold's. I do like his content. He is very funny. Anyway, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.